This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hey guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another speed build, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. My name is Tanya and we're building a tiny house today. This is my very first video using the Sims 4 Tiny Living Stuff Pack, and I could not be more excited because this is the pack I've been asking for a very long time. It's not exactly what I was asking for, but I'm still pretty happy that the idea of giving us a tiny stuff pack has come to fruition because I build a lot of tiny houses. It's kind of the thing here on the channel. We're really big fans of the squish, which is what we call tiny homes here. So welcome back to our first installment of the squish with the new stuff pack. So this is quite a build. I did a lot of playtesting and we fiddle with the inside before the outside, as you can see, but this ends up being a house that has 5 regular beds, like enough space. So there's there is 1 double bed and 3 single beds, so that's 5 Sims, but there's also a bassinet for a baby and a Murphy bed that can sleep up to 2 Sims. So you could potentially have 8 Sims in this household in a tiny house. And with the new tiny stuff pack, we now have tiers of tiny residential lots. You can have a micro home, which is 32 tiles or less, a tiny home, which is 64 tiles or less, and then a small home, which is 100 tiles or less. And this does qualify as a tiny home. It is 63 out of those 64 tiles. And I struggled with this, trying to make it work, because I really wanted it to qualify as a tiny home, not as a small home. And we just barely got it. We just barely got it. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out, and I hope you guys do enjoy it as well. We do fiddle with the floor plan for absolutely ages, and a lot of this ends up being on the second floor. I, at first, for some reason, wasn't even thinking about having a second floor, but we do change that in the end. And also, before I get to all of that, I want to let you guys know about the different perks that you get when you have tiny houses in the game using the new tiny house residential lot. So on each tier, there's a variety of different perks, and obviously the smaller house you have, the more perks you get. But the lot we have right now, it does qualify as a tiny house, which is a tier 2, and the different things we get is we got a trait called You Got the Touch, which increases skill gain. It doubles it. We also have Cozy Comforts, which makes everything twice as comfortable. We have Lighten the Load, which makes our bills lower, and Feeling Fine All the Time. So Happy, Inspired, and Focus buffs last twice as long. So I think it's really cool now that there's all these benefits to living tiny. Plus you can also brag to people around town about your tiny house, which I think is kind of fun. I don't know. I think it's really cool that we got this pack, and I definitely have some criticisms, and I'm thinking about making a video about like what I wanted to see in this pack versus what we got, what I do like, what I don't like, what I would like to see more of. Let me know if you guys would like to see just a sit down and chat video about tiny stuff in the game, because I'd be interested to do that if you guys are interested in seeing that. But anyway, we are figuring out the roof line in the front here now. I wanted to add a skylight into the kitchen. The kitchen was kind of my main focus in this build, as you could probably tell by the fact that I started building it and doing all kinds of weird stuff with pieces in it before I got the exterior even started. I really was going for a specific look I feel like I've seen in a bunch of real life tiny houses and wanted to get that right. And I did playtest it a lot, like a lot. And the one stool in the middle works, and that's all I was going for. I just wanted one to work and one to be purely decorational, so you can sit there, eat your food, put your laptop down, you can do whatever you want at that little stool in the kitchen, and it's fully functional, and you can also use the rest of the kitchen, which is great. If you guys would like to download this house, I'm not sure if it's up yet. I might upload it today, or I might wait until the game is out. Either way, you wouldn't get the tiny living stuff unless you have the pack, but when you do go to download this house, make sure you have move objects on. That cheat is going to save you when you download things off the gallery in general, but specifically this build because I use so much move objects. And when you don't have that cheat enabled and you place a lot that uses it a lot, sometimes things disappear or they move, they drop. There's all kinds of issues that could happen. But if you guys would like to download this house, make sure to enable that. And you can also find it once it's live on the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That information is in the description down below, as well as direct download link to the gallery website if that is easier for you guys. I will probably also post a comment down below letting you know when it is live on the gallery if it's not already. Hopefully that's helpful. But I also wanted to mention that sometime later today, I'm thinking either noon or 1 Eastern time, which is my time zone, I'm going to be live on Twitch playing this game. So if you guys want to hop over there, hang out, explore the game, build some stuff live, I think that could be a really fun way to spend the afternoon. I will also put a link down below to my Twitch channel. I'd love to have you guys come over and join us. I'm really excited to do that. So hopefully I will see you there. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, we are on to outdoor dining. So there was definitely not enough space inside the house for like 5 to 8 people to sit at a table. So I have a 6-seater dining table outside as well as a little grill. So you could grill up some stuff out here, or you could cook inside and bring it out and then just enjoy the wonderful outdoors. I do end up extending this awning that's over the front portion of the house to the entire side so that you have more protection from elements. Not that it's much because it's just a decorative lattice, but it looks nice. I mean, if you don't have seasons, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have seasons, you might get rained on and, or snowed on. And maybe it'll be an issue, but hopefully not. I just thought it looked pretty. And if you encounter weather while you're out there, you can just go inside. But I wanted to utilize a lot of outdoor living space for this tiny home because that's super important in tiny houses to make the inside footprint as small as possible to utilize the outside space. And since we had such a big family that I imagined in this house, I needed to definitely put some of that living space outside, and it mostly ended up being the dining table. There isn't actually a lot of living space inside. Like, not all of the Sims could hang out in the same spot. Really, I feel like it's mostly going to be outside because we just have a Murphy bed couch and then a single chair. So like 3 Sims could sit there. Somebody could sit in the kitchen. But I imagine this family is probably, walking around doing their own thing, spending time in their rooms, outside probably. There's not a whole lot of space here. It's just, I imagine maybe, a couple and their one kid maybe moved in here and they've expanded it over time as they had more children. And they're going to need to expand it again because there is room for that bassinet in that bedroom upstairs. And it could probably, fit the toddler bed too. But as soon as that child becomes a child, I have no idea where that child's going. There's no space for him or her. So you're definitely going to have to expand once that child grows up, if you do have the same dynamic that I did imagine in this house. Or they could sleep in the Murphy bed. I guess they could sleep in the Murphy bed in the living room. I kind of imagine that the Murphy bed in the living room kind of served as a place for guests to stay over. Maybe when the grandparents come over, that could be where they stay. I don't know. I just like the idea of incorporating it into this build as it is a new object. It's definitely going to be very helpful for builds where you just want to save some space and so you don't have separate bedrooms. And I did do a build like that as well, and that should be out tomorrow. But I really wanted to build this, and I'm happy with how this came out, like so happy with how this came out. So I wanted to share this one first, even though I built this one second. But anyway, we're back in the kitchen now. I fiddled with the kitchen forever. I wanted to make it look perfect. I think it's really cute. I kind of made a makeshift counter on the wall in the front, as I mentioned earlier, and it does work, which I was so excited about. I don't think the tea maker I placed in the kitchen works. I didn't play test that, but I didn't place it down for functionality. I just wanted it for aesthetics, so it probably doesn't work. But if it does, that would be great. I wonder if that works. I should test that out later because I had no intention for it to, but it'd be really fun if it actually did work. Because I used the trick both for the chair being on that shelf area, so you can use that as a table, as well as with the tea maker, putting it on an angle like that. If you place things on island counters and then you size down the island counter, it'll size down, but the object will stay floating at the same location. So you can like kind of push it into other items and make makeshift surfaces, which is so nice. I very much enjoy that. But now we're figuring out the downstairs bedroom. I do make both of the beds pink later on, like that pinky purple that the bedspread comes in. I really like that swatch, and I imagine it as kind of like a twins room, and that's how I decorated it. It was kind of fun to do just a generic pink room. I haven't done that in a while, I feel like I've been trying to do a little bit more interesting rooms, but I really like the swatch of that bed, so I just went all out with it. And I was trying to add a decent amount of color in this house as well, because I definitely went with an overall neutral color scheme, plus a lot of blacks, because I love that, and I just want to make my dream tiny house, apparently, in every build I do. But I wanted to add a little bit of personality and color and like kid stuff around as well, because there are a lot of Sims in this house. So I did enjoy making this room so colorful. I loved sizing down that bunny and putting him up on the dresser. He's so bright and colorful and Eastery, and I love it. I also am just realizing I completely talked over a couple of my favorite items in this pack that I placed down a little while ago. One is those hanging succulents in the kitchen. They are so cute. I love them so much. Also, the bookshelf. It's not a bookshelf, but it's a bookshelf. The little pile of books or standing books with the succulents on either side that I placed in the kitchen, it's not going to function as a bookcase because of the way I placed it. But if you just place that on a surface, it is a bookshelf, and it's so cute, and I'm very excited to have that in the game. And then another item that I really, really enjoy is actually the sink that I have in the bathroom. It is so pretty. I was beyond excited to see that sink. It's very much my style. I feel like I'm going to overuse it in builds to come. And the mirror is really nice and simple too. I just wish it was a little bit lower on the wall, because I feel like if I looked in that mirror, I'd see my forehead, and that's really it. And I don't know how useful that's going to be unless I'm trying to pop some pimples or something. But I feel like it should be a little bit lower on the wall. It's kind of frustrating that the mirrors are all at different heights in the game, and we can't lower them, only raise them. But that's a story for another time. This is the master bedroom. Up in here, we have a bed that can sleep 2 Sims, and then I have a bassinet over in the corner so you can have a little baby in this room as well. Like I said, I have no idea where they're going to go when they age up. That I will leave in your hands if you guys download this build. I'd love to find out what happens to that child. Do you expand? Do they end up in the Murphy bed? Does services come and take them? Are you taking care of your children? Oh man. Anyway, we're trying to add some clothes over here, and then I felt bad that I shouldn't just put the baby in a closet. So we kept a little bit of clothing, but I think, or did we move the clothes? I think we moved to the clothing. I felt weird about it, but I thought it was a good space to put clothes, but I got rid of it in the end. So the baby's not in a closet, just in a baby corner, which is kind of like a baby closet. But anyway, this voiceover is getting weird, and we're coming to the end. Thank you so much to the EA Game Changers program for providing me with an early access code to review and play with this pack early and show you guys some of the build assets. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the screenshots, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.